everyone. So today we're last day of July, 31st of July 2021. Weather's taken a bit of a turn here in the UK. It's not as bright as it was a week or so ago, but it's dry and it's very warm, but it's a bit cloudy, so no bright sunshine. So today we're in the Freelander 1, and we've now had this a year, and it's been spot on actually for a 20-year-old car. It looked like brand new when we got it, and it had done a relatively low mileage. Underneath, absolutely spotless. I was amazed when we got it on the ramp and saw the underneath. You'd think it was a brand new car. So the previous owner had really pampered it and looked after it, and it's been really good. So if you're after a Freelander 1, there are a lot of Freelander 1s out there that are very, very rough and had a hard life and are showing it. But there are still some about that are exceptionally good cars and run really well. This one, like I say, it's been excellent. A year in, we haven't done a great deal of mileage in it over that year, because we're trying to keep the mileage low. But we've probably only done 1,500 miles. But it's been faultless, and it looks a smart car for its age. It's in this nice dark blue. It's got ES specs, so it's leather trim and all the bits and pieces on it. So yeah, it's nice. It's got aircon, it's got full electric windows all round, power folding mirrors, alloy wheels of course, and it's got the rear window that drops. It just sunroof, so it's got a full lot of spec that you could get at the time, and yeah, it's a nice car. Drives really well, and the only long journey we did was I picked it up from Shropshire, so it drove back from Shropshire, and that's the only long journey it's done in a year. It's had a little run out here and there, maybe 50 miles, but that's about it. But it's been exceptional. So yeah, people slate Land Rovers and their reliability and whatever. I think to a large degree that is pretty much a nonsense. We've got the Discovery that's done 250,000 miles, a Range Rover that's done about 120 now. I've had previous Range Rovers that have done 200,000. I've had a few now that are sort of 180, and two that were 200,000 and 220 respectively, and never had a spot of bother with them. And they'll pass MOTs year after year, and you just look after them. They have bits and pieces that need to be sorted, but no more than any other car. So brake pipes, the steel original brake pipes corrode, so you need to get them replaced. You need to think about some sort of protection for the chassis and sills, but if you keep on top of that and keep them looked after, they're fine. At big mileages, the ball joints go on the front axle on the Range Rover P38s. On the later L322s, the lower suspension arms need replacing because the bushes go weak, the ball joints go weak. But no more than any other car. You buy a BMW, same sort of suspension setup, you'll replace exactly the same suspension parts on those. The later L322s don't have air suspension problems in the main. Early ones you needed to stay on top of the airbags and the compressors, but mainly the compressor would go because the airbags are gone, and it's working hard and it needs to. But in the main, it is just things that need servicing, and most cars do. The trouble with Range Rovers, they cost a lot to service, so people skimp on the servicing because they can't afford it. And you think, well, you're buying a £100,000 car, so if it costs a couple of grand to get it serviced properly at dealers, you know, it's not, for the person that buys it as a brand new car, it's probably a drop in the ocean. But for the person who buys it as a 10-year-old car, it's quite a substantial amount of the value of the car at that point, so they don't do it. But that's, you know, you're buying premium cars, you pay premium prices, and they do need looking after in a premium way as well. And if you look after them, they're great. This Freelander has genuine service history for most of the 20 years, and then it has the last couple of years it's a Land Rover specialist, which might actually be better than taking it to the dealer, because the specialists really go to town on it, and it doesn't cost a fortune to do it, and they'll you know, really look after them. We look after quite a few Land Rovers as a garage ourselves, and I'm sure we do more than the dealers would do if you took it to them for service. And you know, you get to know what they need, you get to know what goes wrong with them, you get to know what to look for, and a lot of the specialists out there are really good. I know the garage in Shropshire that this was looked after, the specialists, and I know they're good. I know they've got a fantastic reputation. So that's what it takes. And you know, the guy who had it before, he did spend quite a bit of money on it, just looking after it. But I don't think he'd ever have a breakdown because he looked after it. And that's the key. It's you do have to do preventative maintenance, and you know, that's the same with any car. You show me any other car, like I say, I've had a number of Range Rovers that are 180 to 220,000 miles. You show me any other car that would do that without real good maintenance, and there's nothing out there that would do it. But you know, the German marques, if you don't look after them, you get big problems, and yet people generally think you buy a BMW, you buy a Mercedes, you buy an Audi, it's going to be bulletproof. You don't service it, it won't be. And you don't look after it, and it won't be. And that's the same with a Land Rover. It's just a bit more expensive to do it. So that's my thoughts on why you should, if you can afford one and you can afford to buy right, get a Land Rover if you want that type of vehicle. Not many people actually need it, but people do like them. But if you like them, you like the whole premise of the thing, that you can, you know, go off-roading if you want to, and maybe drive some green lanes. We do gentle green lanes in our vehicles. I don't like green lanes that scratch the paintwork, and I don't like green lanes that run the risk of you getting stuck and things like that. I just think just nice gentle off-road, well, not off-road because it's a green lane, so it's a legal road, but just nice and gentle, and it's nice. It's a nice hobby, and if you're into that, the Land Rover is the ideal vehicle, and it doesn't really matter which model you get. A lot of people that say, oh, get an old Defender. Yeah, if you want to be really uncomfortable, get an old Defender. If you want a bit of comfort and the same sort of ability, get a Discovery. If you want real comfort while you're off-roading, get a Range Rover. And if you want to do a gentle off-road and you know, a reasonable car, reasonable comfort, a Freelander will do it. In fact, there aren't many places you'll get with a Defender in standard form that you wouldn't get in a Freelander in standard form. You just have to drive differently because they've got a different four-wheel drive system. So you do have to adapt your driving system to the four-wheel drive system, and there's plenty of videos out there that will educate you as to that. The best thing you could do is go and do an off-road driving course, and tell them what type of vehicle you're going to be driving, and they'll usually tailor the course to suit your personal vehicle and getting the best out of it. So that's another great day out, or 3 or 4 days out if you want to really pay some money for it, and you can have great fun doing it. So thanks for watching, and we'll perhaps give you another update later on with the Freelander again and how it's running. But for now, it's running fantastic. It's been a great year with the car, and we enjoy it. You know, it's an enjoyable car to own because it's reasonably comfortable. It's not too big, so no issues parking and things like that. And if you like your Land Rover products, most of the stuff will be familiar to you. So very good. So we'll see you again next time.